a webinar on career opportunities through IATA courses. We at Bird Academy for the last 21 years have been enabling students across India to build knowledge and skills, become confident and employment ready by offering courses in aviation, travel, and tourism, most of which are IATA recognized. IATA, as you may be aware, is the International Air Transport Association, headquartered in Montreal, Canada, and was founded in April 1945. Its regulatory framework is recognized all across the world. IATA supports aviation with global standards for airlines, safety, security, efficiency, and economy under clearly defined rules. It has 290 member airlines, which is almost 82% of the air traffic, total air traffic. 1 lakh accredited travel and cargo agents, big number, several strategic partners, and 470, I'm repeating, 470 global training partners in 90 countries across every continent. IATA supports many areas of aviation activity and helps formulate industry policy on critical aviation issues. Its mission is to lead, represent, and serve the airline industry. We are very fortunate to have Mr. Craig Astridge, Regional Head Marketing and Commercial Services, IATA Asia Pacific, with us today as our esteemed guest. He's joining us live from Singapore. Namaste, Craig. You have got familiar with our Indian greetings by now, especially when you visited us. I wish I would request Craig to switch on for a minute and say namaste to all.
Namaste. Nice to be here again. Nice to see you all.
Thank you, Craig. A very warm welcome to you. Craig has a distinguished career in aviation. Prior to joining IATA in 2010, Craig held senior roles for Singapore Airlines in Asia Pacific region, based in New Zealand. And the best part is that he spent 5 years with with an airline, so it had a wonderful experience of getting hands-on knowledge of how an airline functions. He's also worked in Australia, and he was educated in New Zealand and holds a division first class honors degree in business from Massey University. So a great blend of airline exposure with global policy formulating and IATA training. And during the course of the session, Craig will be speaking to you about IATA, the advantages of doing IATA courses, career prospects, his perception about the industry recovery, and post-COVID job prospects. Friends, Bird Academy has to its credit very distinguished and experienced instructors. Let me introduce some of them who shall be speaking to you today. As I call out their names, I will request them to join on the video link. To begin with, Vinita. Vinita.
Good morning, everyone.
Radhika.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Sana.
Good morning, everyone.
And our dear gentleman from DGR, Arvind.
Good morning to all of you. Warm welcome to all of you.
To take this session forward, I now request Vinita to take over from here.
Very good morning, everyone. Welcome all of you to another wonderful webinar of Bird Academy. So today we are talking about the careers in the aviation and travel industry after doing an IATA course. So let me first introduce myself, as Meenakshi ma'am have introduced me already. My name is Vinita. I'm manager training with Bird Academy. I started my career with travel in aviation almost say 16 years back, and as working as a trainer with Bird Academy. IATA is, it can be called as a base for your international career in travel and tourism and aviation. There are various subject areas which IATA covers. So today, initially to start with, I would like to introduce you to Bird Academy first, followed by a presentation by Mr. Craig. We'll talk to you about the IATA's global presence and what IATA do. request all the other participants to kindly put your videos muted and your audio muted. Otherwise, we'll have a disturbance in conversing. So, talking about Bird Academy, we've been into the training department since 1998. Almost now, this is around 22 years to the industry. We have contributed. So today's webinar, I'm the moderator for the day. So we have our special guest, Mr. Craig Estridge, Regional Head for Commercial in Asia Pacific. Uh, we have the other trainers, the experts, the IATA instructors who will be talking to you about the courses and also telling you about what is expected out of you once you complete an IATA course and what is the requirement in the industry. Now, Bird Academy was started in 1998 with a motive to impart specialized training in the field of travel, tourism, aviation, hospitality, and retail to existing industry personnel at national and international level. We work towards introducing, train, and update existing travel, tourism, aviation, hospitality, and retail professionals, the new entrants like you, and young graduates as well as undergraduate aspirants on computerized operation of the global travel and tourism. You know that if right now in the COVID scenario, it is all everything is automated. We are people are working from home. Everything is we are looking at a touchless mode of operation. So these courses all focus towards a touchless, kind of computerized operation. Further, I think making a difference around the as I talked about training, we became an IATA authorized training center in May 2002, whereby an accredited training school for dangerous goods regulation aviation in December 2008. The latest to our feather was becoming the first IATA regional training partner from India in December 2018. We have a pan-India presence around 250 countries. We have global presence in UK, Nepal, Bhutan, Malaysia, Singapore, I'm sorry, we were the network issues. I was disconnected for a moment from you. So we have nurtured around 50,000 plus of professionals so far. And in 2018, we started with a skill development training center in Chandigarh, which was exclusively for aviation skill training. Uh, the head office is in New Delhi, and we are also operating out of Vasant Kunj in New Delhi for our regional training partner trainings, and also for the DGR trainings, we are operating out of the Delhi office, and also we are offering these trainings across India. These are the 5 branch offices which are authorized as for our IATA trainings: New Delhi, Mumbai, Chandigarh, Pune, and Vadodara. But you can connect to us from any corner of India and register with us for the IATA courses. Now, if we are talking about the industry, what is the requirement of the industry? This is first thing which comes to your mind when you are opting for a career option. So if you are joining travel and aviation industry in India or any part of the globe, what is the requirement? First thing is the product knowledge. Now, a product knowledge you can gather by doing a course or probably working with an organization. So, why don't we do a course which can give you an international exposure? So, for that, the certifications are mandatory because certifications is the one which will give you that advantage of the best performer. So, IATA certification is one of those components which makes you competent in taking up a career. And of course the soft skill requirement, because if you can see the 2 pictures of a lady and a man on the left hand side, they have completed a course with us a long time back, and now they are very much established in the industry. But all this grooming did not happen in a night. It took them time to come to this level. So, but then what are the best practices? That is what a training does. Now, if we are talking about IATA, the International Air Transport Association, the training wing offers, courses in various subject areas. So these are the major subject areas which are offered by IATA: the travel and tourism, fares and ticketing, air navigation services, airline, airport planning, cargo, dangerous goods regulation, civil aviation authorities, and so on modules which are related to operations of an airline and the agencies related to airline. So even your travel, your hospitality, retail, everything comes in that. So there are various courses which IATA offers in their IATA subject areas. The ATC courses, like these are the courses which are offered by Bird Academy, and you can see it here, a list of courses. GDS fares and ticketing, this mainly connects related to fares and ticketing. We will be having all our trainers talking in detail about each of these courses. You will hear from them, the experts, what is the expectation and how you can enroll for these courses and what is the outcome. Then we have, I told you about in 2018, we became the IATA regional training partner, the first of its kind from India. So through that, we have already offered the following courses for the people from the industry, from the aviation industry. We are coming up with few more courses in the, probably the lockdown have put us, a restriction in the pace, but then in the future, we are coming up with more courses. And we are also one of the institutes which is approved by IATA for conducting dangerous goods regulations. You will be wondering what is dangerous goods. We will be talking about them in detail again in our when our speaker, one of the instructors, will brief you about what exactly is a dangerous goods. The Bird Academy, this is a venture of Bird Group, supported by the group itself and its conglomerates, its different ventures. So we have into the hospitality sector with Roseate Hotels and Resorts. We are into the ground handling, and of course the technology partner for all the travel verticals as Amadeus. Accreditations and knowledge partnership, Bird Academy has into its pool a good number of tie-ups in terms of the accreditations. One of the major one is IATA, and we are also working in close relationship with airlines, universities, institutions which are into travel and aviation related specializations. We offer trainings. We have joint operations. So this is how we work. So before moving on to the careers with IATA courses and know your course and instructor, I would like to welcome our guest of honor today, Mr. Craig, to have a small presentation on IATA and the expectations of the future. Over to you, Craig.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Excellent. So let me start sharing my screen. And, okay. Right, can you see the slide, the presentation?
Yes, we can.
Excellent, excellent. So first of all, thank you for having me today. The part of my job I love is speaking to young people who are thinking about careers in the aviation field, because as you could tell maybe by my introduction, I've had a great career in the aviation field, and I wouldn't have chosen anything else for my time. So, so it's been a great career for me, and I love to share how I can help young people get there. No doubt we are having challenges at the moment, but we'll discuss those a little bit at the end. I'm open to any questions you have. But delighted to be here with the Bird Academy. Not only are they a very valued IATA training partner, but they're part of our premier circle of training partners, which means they're amongst the top 10 in the world for the service and the training that they give on behalf of IATA. So really happy to be back. I'm just ashamed that I can't be there in person. I've been to Delhi many times, and I've visited the Bird Academy most times as well. And I really miss you guys. So hopefully when all this mess stops and we can get back to business as usual, I'll be able to visit in face. But at least we've got Zoom and we can have a discussion. So I thought I'd give you a quick presentation today on what IATA is, what we do, a little bit about IATA training, and then we'll look at some of the courses and the careers they lead to before the instructors go into the detail. And then I think we're planning on 15 or 20 minutes at the end for questions. And I'm happy to stay on and answer questions if I can. So let me quickly move on to the presentation. So we are the Global Trade Association for the world's airlines. We've got over 290 airlines that are IATA members, and we represent something like 82% of all the global air traffic. As you heard from Mrs. Dua earlier on, we were founded in 1945. We have a head office in Montreal and an executive office in Geneva. And for our region, we are based here in Singapore. We also have regional hubs in Madrid, Beijing, Amman, and Miami. So we really are a global office. And we have a very large office in Delhi itself, at Gurgaon, and we have a smaller office in Mumbai too. So India is a big market for us, and we probably have 15 full-time staff in India. Our mission is to represent, lead, and serve the airline industry, working together with our vision, working together to shape a future growth for a safe, secure, and sustainable air transport industry that connects and enriches the world. So lots of problems there at the moment. Obviously, sustainability is going to be a problem moving ahead, and connecting and enriching our world is also something we are struggling with at the moment. But we'll get into that a bit later. We have lots of members in Asia Pacific, and at the bottom of the screen you can see the members in India. So we have a very good representation of airlines from India as IATA members, including some of the low-cost carriers. But pretty much every airline in Asia Pacific, probably with the exception of AirAsia, are IATA members. And we've got new ones there like Bamboo Airlines from Vietnam was a new one, and we've just had a new airline from Japan join today as well. So a very good representation in Asia Pacific for our airline members. So you might ask, what is IATA and what's our value proposition to the industry? So we're divided into 4 divisions. So the largest one is customer, financial, and digital services. And this is very important to IATA because we manage the industry settlement system. So the BSP, which is called the Billing and Settlement Plan, and the Cargo Account Settlement System, which is the equivalent for our cargo agents. And as part of that, we manage the travel agency and the cargo agency accreditation and the risk management. And that means, if you don't know about IATA, when you go to a travel agent, you can buy a ticket for any number of our member airlines. You buy a ticket from a travel agent. So IATA, through our billing and settlement system, allows a travel agent to issue those tickets on any airline. It enables the travel agent to collect the money. Then IATA acts as the clearinghouse, usually each week in each country, to settle the money from the travel agents through to the airlines. And that's why we are so large and so global. We've grown into a system, that financial system transacts something in a normal year of $350 billion US a year between travel agents, cargo agents, and airlines. So we're managing a lot of money. As part of this division, we also have the account management for our IATA member airlines. So we're a one-stop division where the airlines can come with any problems that they've got. And then we also have the commercial activities, which is where I sit, which covers business intelligence, publications, and consulting right through to training. And we also run customer service for our members. And then also as part of our customer financial and digital services, we have other payment systems outside the BSP. So airlines will pay each other through what we call the IATA clearinghouse. We have currency and treasury services for our airlines because we move such vast amounts of money. We can offer that at a very effective rate. Perhaps one of the most exciting things even now, and it's odd, but it's accelerating under the situation we're in now, is the digital transformation of airlines. So we are leading the way with our new distribution capability in one order for airlines to essentially become digital retailers. So for a long time, airlines were very reliant on travel.
I'm unable to hear.
Okay.
I'm unable to hear.
Is everybody having an issue with the link?
Hello.
We can hear you, Craig.
Audible.
We can
Hello.
hear you. We can hear
Yeah,
you, Craig.
We can
Okay,
hear you,
maybe-
Craig, loud and clear.
Good, maybe some connectivity in different places.
Now I'm getting.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. So the digital transformation is, traditionally airlines relied on travel agents, then we had low-cost carriers who sold direct. So the digital transformation of airlines becoming digital retailers is designed to enable airlines to sell through many channels direct. And we're offering all sorts of tools and services to industry to do that. And in a time when airlines are not flying or flying limited schedules, there is a lot of effort from airlines into the digital transformation, because essentially in the long term that will bring some good cost savings for them and some real benefits to distribution and the ability to sell different parts of the journey to consumers. So that requires architecture and standards for the industry, which we work on. The other things that IATA maintains in industry, you may know, is the airline codes. Every airline has a 2-letter code that's issued and controlled by IATA, and the same for the airports who have a 3-letter code. So we do that. And we also help airlines with interline agreements and schedule and fare filing. So here we set the standards for those. And we have a lot of business intelligence, and we'll come on to some of our business intelligence near the end of my presentation. You can see what we do in that area. We have a member and external relations division, and they are the ones really responsible for advocacy. So that's where we talk to governments about the regulatory environment for airlines and travel agents and cargo agents. We talk about passenger rights, we talk about taxation and airport slots. So you'll have seen IATA a lot in the news recently for our advocacy, because we are talking to governments a lot now about the situation. We're doing a lot of work in terms of the COVID and how the industry might recover. And that comes all under our member and external relations. And we also obviously work closely with industry in each country and with ICAO, which is the International Civil Aviation Organization, part of the UN. And we do a lot of economic analysis to support the industry. We have an airport, passenger, cargo and security division. So obviously we're working closely with airports then in infrastructure development. And we do a lot of work in India, because India is a massive, massive market for airport development. So we're talking to airports about charges, we're talking to airports about terminals, we're talking about ground handling, we talk to the governments about airports where they're needed and how they might get paid for, we're talking to governments about the demand for airports, and we talk about passenger processing. So again, a lot of our time now in this area is passenger processing and COVID, which is a lot of what we call contactless travel. So how do we work with airports and authorities to get passengers through an airport with as little contact as possible? And again, that's something that we're working very hard on, because that's something we think is going to be important to a restart for the industry. We do a lot with cargo on the cargo side, so cargo standards and best practices, and we'll come on to that. I believe we're going to have one of your dangerous goods instructors tell us about dangerous goods, and that's a vital part of cargo. You must be able to transport all goods safely, because the consequences of not doing so are going to be serious. So we spend a lot of time looking at the dangerous goods transportation. And then safety and security, obviously, on the ground is very important. Our number one mantra, as with any airline, is safety and security is always first. And then finally, we have our safety and flight operations division. So that anything to do with the aircraft flying and air traffic control or safety issues they're talking about. And again, in Asia Pacific, this is particularly relevant, because if you have a flight going from Australia or New Zealand through to Europe, it's going to cross something like up to 20 or over 20 different airspaces. So there's lots and lots of work to be done there, and trying to harmonize things, make sure the planes can transit safely. And we talk to governments about those rules as well. And then the final thing that safety and flight operations look after is what we call the IATA Operational Safety Audit. It's IOSA. It's basically a minimum level of safety systems that we must have in an airline, and you must pass an IOSA test before you can become an IATA airline. So we not only do you have to set up your airline, but you also have to be IOSA qualified, which is a basic standard of safety to become an IATA member. And again, we believe that that's a very important part of airline safety, to be ready for the basic part of operating an airline, which is safety. So let me move quickly on to training. So as you can guess, with all those touch points in the industry, we have access to training across most of those points, and we have access to a lot of industry professionals. So we've trained over 1 million professionals and graduates since we started our training in 1999. And this slide shows you that we pretty much train in every area of the airlines, the airports, and the ground operations. The only ones that we don't do too much training in is technical training for pilots. We leave that to more technical organizations, because obviously it's very expensive and you need your simulators. And we do basic cabin crew training. We don't do the cabin crew simulators and those sorts of things. But anything else that touches the aviation industry, we have courses available, including some like law and regulations. There are obviously lots of laws that are specific to aviation, and finance and accounting. Airline accounting and airline finance is a very specialized field, especially when you talk about airlines sharing revenue from a ticket, when you might fly on one airline and ticket on another airline. So we train people up on those. So lots and lots of opportunities for training with IATA. We are good, and I don't just say that. 90% of our participants will recommend our course, and our training materials and our instructors, both in IATA and with our partners, are aviation professionals, and we see that with Bird Academy. It's specialized aviation people teaching specialized aviation courses, and that's one of the benefits of an IATA qualification, that you're being trained by the industry experts. We have ISO 9001 for our training. We've had that for many years. We're also ASEC certified for our training centers in Montreal. So we do a lot of work with outside bodies to keep our training up to date. And it's not just me, so 96% of our participants say our instructors are experts in the field. We have over 300 instructors with industry experience. So I also can conduct some IATA courses. I generally do the sales and marketing ones. That's my area of expertise. And again, I like getting out amongst people and having the chance to teach. So it's great when you can get exposed to some of our industry experts. We have over 20 training centers around the world, and we have 470 training partners, of which the Bird Academy is one of our top training partners. And we offer 350 courses globally. You can take our courses anywhere, and about 40 diplomas. Lots of opportunities. So how do we change in a constantly changing world? So we thought we might take a little look at India here and discuss what's happening in India. So pre-COVID, India was in line to become the world's third largest aviation market by 2025. You know what? I think it's probably still going to get there. It may not be 2025, but India for sure is going to be the world's third largest aviation market. So you are in a country that is going to still grow exponentially in terms of aviation. There is no doubt about that. You've got airports in Delhi there. That's amongst the world's 20 busiest airports in 2019. So that's going up. And again, we'll come back to what COVID does. And you've got a central government scheme that improves regional connectivity. So that's a good thing for India as well. That keeps the industry growing. There's going to be something like 19 greenfield airports across the country. And when we say greenfield, we mean an airport being built from nothing. So India will see, something like 19 or 20 airports being built in your country in the next 10 to 20 years. And then we're also seeing some airports from outside India making strategic investments in your existing airports. So again, that's showing you the confidence that the industry has, or the worldwide industry has, in the Indian aviation market. The strong connectivity is vital because it keeps India moving. I think you guys don't need me to tell you how big your country is and the number of people that need to be moved. So these air connectivity schemes are vital to keeping the traffic flowing. And again, we think that will just grow in the future and will help the larger airports grow and international traffic grow in the end as well. Civil aviation, we're seeing some changes in policy in India due to COVID-19, which we think is great. So we're seeing some changes in airspace management, not only in India, but in other countries. So traditionally, many countries have reserved large amounts of airspace just for military, and civil aircraft have been excluded. So we're beginning to see some changes in India and other countries that airspace is opening up a little bit more for civilian aircraft to use. There's more PPPs being signed for airports in India, and there's been some changes to allow MRO hubs to set up in India. And this is important as well. MRO is maintenance of aircraft, heavy maintenance. It's very expensive for airlines to do, but it's a regulatory requirement when your plane gets to a certain age. And planes will fly to the most effective destinations to get MRO done. So where you've got a skilled workforce, where you've got the right price for not only the workforce, but for the parts and the ability to do it, and maybe some of the tax-free zones where other MRO hubs are. So we're great to see some of this development in India. India has signed air travel bubbles with, the slide could be old, it was 16 countries. I suspect it's over 20 now to restart international flight operations. We're seeing exciting stuff happen with Vistara. They not only have their first A321neo aircraft, which is fantastic, the first in Asia to have that aircraft type, and that's going to be a game changer. That can fly, it's a narrow body aircraft that can fly, I think, up to 10 hours. So that will change the aviation industry for many airlines who take that aircraft. But also Vistara now have their 787s and they've started their international services as well. So even in the downturn, we're seeing some great stuff happening in aviation in India. And the last point, obviously, is that United Airlines have come back to India, but not only have they come back to India, but they've started some new destinations. So although things are tough and struggling at the moment, I think we're clearly seeing some confidence in the Indian aviation market from not only the airports, but the airlines and also your government. So some positive changes. So IATA training in India with Bird, with our Premier Circle member. What are the benefits? And again, I think some of the instructors will go a little bit more into this. But first of all, the IATA training and certificates are recognized globally. Look, I think that's really important for a place like India, where a lot of you might be looking at careers overseas. Until this year, and we know things have changed, but it will come back, there's been heavy demand for skilled staff, particularly in the Middle East, for people to go and assist the airlines there. So if you have an IATA certificate, that's going to be recognized not only in India, but outside India as well. You get your training from the subject matter experts. You've seen what IATA does in a brief description, but we have subject matter experts for many, many aviation areas, and they're the ones helping us with the training. They're either doing the training with us or helping our instructors write the material. So you're getting the best training that's available. And then obviously we've got flexible and pre-scheduled online exam options at the moment. So again, a little bit disrupted with COVID, but we're making sure that our students can sit the exams either online or they can sit them in a classroom as required. I probably don't need to tell you too much about Bird Academy, but it's a fantastically strong brand in not only the aviation industry, but also related industries. You've got great teachers, you've got the classrooms in the center there, you've got great teachers with the industry experience, and what they're doing for the industry in India is providing pretty much job-ready professionals for the industry once you've finished your training. What I'll do on this is I won't go too much into the course, but I'll look at where you might, with these courses, have some employment opportunities. So the IATA Foundation in Travel and Tourism course with Amadeus, that's really if you want to work for an airline fares desk, a travel agent, or some sort of ticketing agent, or even a business processing out center and call center agent. So this will teach you basically what the industry is about. It will teach you like things like what 3-letter codes are, what airport codes are. It will teach you all the lingo and the talk of the industry. And then it will prepare you for a job in one of these. So you know what an airline ticket is, you know what issue tickets, And then you also know Amadeus, which are one of the GDSs, and these are the systems that travel agents use to book not only airlines, but hotels and cruises and all sorts of transportation. So that's the sort of course you can get, or the one you can get after you've done that course. In terms of IATA passenger ground services, so this is ground services really at an airport. So if you want to become a passenger service agent, maybe for an airline, or at airports, we have companies called ground handling agents, and they usually operate on behalf of the airlines to check in, the ramp, which is under the aircraft, the cargo loading, and the baggage loading, and the catering. So these are all opportunities for employment at airports, which may or may not be with airlines, but they may be with a ground handling agent. And then you've got airports will also have some staff engaged in these, and an airline passenger service staff. So again, this teaches you about the ground systems of airports. Good if you're thinking about a job at an airport. Cargo introductory course, again, we'll touch on the cargo. And again, if you're thinking about a job with a cargo agent or an air freight forwarder, either as an operational or a marketing staff. If you're looking at any airline jobs or manufacturing jobs related to cargo, this is interesting, and maybe junior level management positions. So again, cargo course will open the cargo side of the industry to you. And then we have an IATA Global Distribution Fares and Ticketing. This is a bit more concentration on the actual fares and ticketing part of it. So again, for airline fares desks, travel agents, and airline ticket agents, and again, some of the call centers. And this will teach you about what an airline ticket is, how you issue it, how you issue a ticket with more than one airline on, and how the passengers might use those tickets. And again, it's all sorts of interesting lingo and systems that the airline industry has built up over the years to enable passengers to travel on tickets. So that's a little bit about IATA, a little bit about the training courses we offer with Bird Academy. And as I say, I think the Bird instructors will give us more in a minute. I thought I might finish by just having a little look from IATA and our economics area on the impact on global and regional flight departures in terms of flights with COVID. So there's no doubt that if we look, and this is a bit of a heat map, you can see that if we look at last May compared to this May, massive change in the number of flights that are traveling in the world. And unfortunately, that's carried right through to July. So we're seeing some recovery now in July, August, September, but really it's, you can see the comparison between the two heat maps. There's a lot less flights traveling. If we look at it on the graph and broken down by region, so this was for the week ending on September 20th, so it's quite up to date. So basically worldwide flights are 51% lower than they were at the same period last year. And you can see Asia Pacific in the yellow is leading the recovery, but we're higher than the global average. I think one thing we need to be careful in the Asia Pacific is this data includes China. And I think we all know that the China domestic recovery has been phenomenal. And China domestic capacity and passenger numbers are almost back where they were before COVID hit. So if you take China out of the Asia Pacific, we actually fall below most of the other regions in terms of our recovery. So the China domestic recovery is a great story, but the rest of Asia is not recovering so quickly. And there's just the slide again with Asia Pacific showing us above the global average, but again, we are softened, or we're improved, our result was improved by what the Chinese domestic market is doing. The good part, or the good thing we can see, is that we're off the bottom. You can see that we hit the bottom around April, early May was where global capacity in Asia Pacific capacity had the largest declines of almost 80%. So we're coming off that, but there's still a long way to go. And there were many talks about, in the early days, about whether the recovery would be a V-shape, it would be a very quick recovery on the graph, or whether it would be a long L-shaped. And unfortunately for us, it seems to be that the long L shape is going to be how our industry recovers. But you know what? It's important that our industry recovers, and that's why we at IATA and our airline members and our airports and governments are working hard because of the impact that aviation has. So aviation drives economies to almost $3 trillion of GDP. We think, or we estimate there's around almost 66 million jobs in the world related to aviation, not just in airlines, but at airports and hotels and the catering companies and that. So there's a lot of jobs. 35% of goods to the world travel by air, by value. And we're seeing this. We're seeing air freight is continuing to be busy. And the problem with air freight now is almost the restricted ability of space. So there is huge demand for airspace. And when these COVID vaccines come, that will just increase. So again, we're working very hard with industry to make sure that when we can get the vaccines and even now carrying healthcare and emergency aid, that gets priority. And of course, aviation connects people, businesses, and economies. You know, I sit here, I travel probably most of my time in normal times, and I've been at home for the last 9 months, as I think most of us have, and you just realize how connected your life really was. And I really miss that part, the connectivity and the people side of the business. So look, we think the industry will recover. Our latest forecast is it's probably going to take until 2023 to get back to 2019 levels. But I have to say, we don't really know. But there is a chance if the vaccine comes out and is effective, the recovery will be a lot quicker. And there's also possibly a chance the recovery could be a bit slower if we don't see some progress on the vaccines. And you'll see a lot of news now with IATA and airports and lobbying governments. And what we're saying now is that to get the industry moving, we need to do away with quarantine. So what we need to do is start getting tests, either tests at airports before you depart or tests when you arrive, or both, to at least give people the ability to move. So that's what we're doing at the moment, working with governments and all sorts of partners to try and say, let's get rid of quarantine if it's possible at all, and let's replace it with testing. And that will become increasingly important in the next few months as more and more countries get COVID under control and look at trying to open their borders. So with that's my presentation. I'll hand back to the Bird team, Mrs. Dua and the team. I'll be waiting here to answer any questions. And again, look, it's a fantastic industry. There's no doubt we're undergoing some issues and some troubles at the moment. You know, none of us in our lives have ever seen anything like this, but it's going to recover. The world is too connected, so it will recover. It's just a matter of when, and then making sure that we're in the right position to try and get jobs when it does recover. Right, so I'll stop sharing my screen and hand back to the team.
Thank you, Craig. That was a wonderful presentation and complete overview of the complete industry as such, and the requirements about the current scenario. Now we would like to welcome our trainers one by one to have an introduction of the courses and tell you about the duration of the course and what is the expectation. Though Craig have covered it in his presentation, but we will try to connect to you with the speaker, with the trainers who will be training you on the subject. So I would like to welcome our IATA instructor, Sana, to talk about the courses related to IATA Foundation, IATA Consultant, and IATA GDS. Welcome, Sana.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Sana Mudi. I am an instructor, IATA instructor, and a coordinator at Bird Academy. I am in travel trade from the last 16 years. At this webinar, I would like to tell you about the courses which we offer at Bird Academy. As Craig mentioned, I would like to tell you the first course, IATA Foundation. It is a 3-month program. It is a combination of theory and fare calculation. So when we say theory, there is a lot of theory in it. We will do customer service skills, we'll do fare calculation, visa requirements, insurance options, services and facilities available at the airport for the passengers, travel terminology, industry codes, to plan and reserve itineraries for the passengers, hotels, tours. And not only this, we have fare calculation also in it, in which we do one-way, round-trip, circle trip itineraries, along with the IATA geography and all the global indicators. After the completion of course, this course is for 3 months. After the completion of course, you will get an IATA certificate, which is valid worldwide. and the acceptance will be granted worldwide. This course is suitable for the students, those who are interested in the travel and tourism, tour operators, travel agents, sales and marketing staff, international BPO agents. So this was all about the IATA Foundation course. This is the first level of the three levels of IATA. The second level is the IATA Consultant. IATA Consultant is the second level, and this is the advanced ticketing and theory course. So when we say advanced ticketing, in this, we will do the next steps of the IATA Foundation. All the exceptions are there in the IATA Consultant. We will talk about the popular destination countries, selling techniques and social media marketing, travel industry laws and regulations, niche products, including your tour customization, luxury and group options, accommodation, but other than hotels, fare constructions, as I said, with all the exceptions, ticket exchange and reissuance. So the candidates, those who are already in the industry from the last 2 years, or those who are IATA Foundation graduates, are most welcome in this IATA consultant course. Other than this, reservation and marketing sales personnel can also join the course. So this was the second course. Then we have one basic course also, which is IATA GDS, fares and ticketing. IATA GDS, fares and ticketing is a basic course of fares and ticketing. It is an interactive e-learning course through which you will learn the basic and advanced fare construction principles. Amadeus GDS simulation tool is used to analyze different type of journeys, find fares, mileage, and how to apply mileage and fare rules and issue tickets. This simulation training is supported by an interactive workbook and reference notes on GDS, commands, maps, and key journeys, pricing terms, and destinations. So we do it with the GDS Amadeus. Eligibility for this course, which is IATA GDS, fares and ticketing, travel and airline professional with the basic knowledge of Amadeus GDS are most welcome, or someone who is very passionate about the travel industry and has some knowledge about the world geography with the basic knowledge and understanding of English and math. After the completion of the courses of all these three courses, you can apply the jobs in the airline ticketing department, at the travel agencies, at the tour operator companies, and there are a lot of opportunities in travel. As our book said in the IATA Foundation, no matter what, people will continue to travel. So this was all about for IATA courses. And for more queries, you guys are most welcome to post the queries on the chat box. Now over to you, Vinita.
Thank you, Sana. That was a quick on the IATA courses related to consultant and GDS. We have also seen a course related to passenger ground services. Now, this is related to all those students who want to work at the airport. Now, if you are in the passenger and baggage handling side, for that you can do the IATA passenger ground services course. But the most of the airport operations, they require a minimum qualification of you to be a graduate, or maybe in the final year of graduation, or probably with an experience in the customer service profile. So those people can go for the passenger ground services training. Post this, you can opt for a job profile with an airline or at the airport. So after, see, we are just going in a sequence. You do a travel agency course where you learn how to do reservations and how to do ticketing. Now, this is the place where the passengers are coming for taking a flight. So passenger ground services talks about all those ground operations, the airport operations, airlines, and all those multiple agencies which are related to it. So moving on further to the next course, because if you are joining this industry, you are not remaining as only an executive level. You would like to grow in your profile to a managerial level. So the next level of course which is there is IATA management, in related to travel. So to talk about this course, and also it's not only passengers who are flying out from the airport, it's also the cargo which has played a very important role in the aviation industry in the last lockdown sessions, because cargo was still moving. So to talk about the IATA cargo introductory course and the management course, now I would like to call upon Radhika Devan. She is our trainer for the following courses. Over to you, Radhika.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Radhika, and I'm Assistant Manager Training and ITA instructor with Bird Academy. My total work experience in the travel trade is of 18 plus years, and where I upgraded my skills by learning ITA Foundation, ITA Consultant, ITA Management, ITA Cargo, and last but not least, ITA Revenue Management. I will be talking about ITA managing the travel business and yes, as Vinita said, the cargo course. Uh, these courses, both these courses are the 3-month program where we are giving online training, and the exams are, yes, online examinations are also there. And during the course, I'm talking about ITA management. During this course, you will be learning more about your roles by more about your management roles by improving your managerial skills, your negotiation skills, marketing skills, and your financial administration. And yes, this course is good for the entry level managers, those who are already working, middle management employees, your agency business owners, those who are owning their own businesses, and back office staff members. This is all about your ITA management. Now I will now be sharing about with yet another very important course, that is ITA Basic Cargo. Many of us are not aware of the importance of the cargo operations, but during COVID period, we have experienced the magic of cargo operations, which saved thousands of lives with medicines and essentials. Those are transported across the world. And it is the very big revenue earner also for the airlines. And the best part is it is very silent and non-complaining participant. Importance of cargo is growing day by day. Minimum eligibility for this basic cargo introductory course is 10 plus 2, where we expect you to have a good understanding of English, a little bit knowledge of geography and mathematics. This basic course will cover the geography, your time calculations, different types of aircraft, and how does cargo agency work, and cargo ratings and procedures, how to rate, how do we get the ratings of the different types of cargos. And besides this, there are several upskilling courses in cargo which you can join to upgrade your skills. Thank you so much. Over to Vinita.
Thank you, Radhika. Now I would like to, so if cargo is moving, then also is various things in the cargo. So one of the main component which usually a cargo agent have to do is a dangerous goods regulations course. So to talk to you about the dangerous goods regulation courses, we have with us our chief instructor for DGR trainings, Mr. Arvind Prabhakar.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Arvind, yeah, you can start, please.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon to everyone. I hope all of you are fine and safe at your places. I want to tell you just 20 years back my small story. It's very interesting one. When I working as a cargo agent in a Delhi cargo terminal and accept as a cargo accepting staff, and I'm accepting our shipment, and I am surprised that a security staff stopped that shipment because it is a dry food shipment and it's containing a coconut. And that time it is surprise to me that my supervisor and the security staff tells me that coconut is a dangerous goods. And it is just surprise. There's a eatable item, how it become a dangerous when it's transported by air. And that makes me to learn about the dangerous good regulations. And in 2006, I done my I completed my first DGR course of category 6. And from there, I understood what is the actual meaning of dangerous goods and why they are dangerous when they are transported by air. And here I'm not a stop. I complete my IATA professional skill for dangerous goods training. And in 2011, I joined a bird academy as a DJ instructor. And I'm now in a position as a chief instructor in this academy. I have more than 25 years of experience in the aviation industry. Now I will tell you what is the reason why you will do the DGR training. And all of the trainers tells you have to do the fare calculation, you have to do the passenger, you have to do the cargo course. But after doing all these courses, this course is very important. For example, you are accepting a shipment, you are in a sales and a marketing and you're doing a cargo. You are accepting a cargo and you accept a one shipment, which is a very high dense shipment. It is just like a auto parts, and auto parts is giving a more revenue. You get a good rate. But the auto parts or a spare parts, in a spare parts there's a small things like a battery, or there's a car, your safety bags that come in a DG regulations. If you do not follow the DG regulations, then it become a dangerous for air transportation. There's a one incident happened in 1996. The value jet aircraft crashed and 110 people lost their life. Again, there's another incident happened in 1983 Saudi aircraft, and there are 310 passengers lost their life. So every day there's a lot of dangerous goods are transported. Every shipment having some. Now, when I joined the aviation industry, there's a hardly one shipment is a dangerous good. Nowadays, every fourth shipment is a dangerous good, and every passenger is carrying some dangerous good articles. You're having a laptop, you're having a mobile phone, you're having a toys which operated by the battery. You're carrying a loose batteries, you're carrying a lithium batteries. Nowadays, the lithium batteries are very dangerous. The first thing is that when you do the DGR training, it make you responsible. It make you responsible how to pack the goods, how to prepare our documents, how to accept the goods, how to load the goods in a cargo aircraft, how to make up palletizations if you are working in a cargo. So all this make you responsible person. When you are a responsible person, you transport the goods very safely, you accept the goods very safely, and safely is the first priority in the aviation industry. Now, there's another main important thing why we have to do the DGR training. As per the international regulations, as per the international law, as per the Indian law, there's a law, rule number 12, the Aircraft Carriage of Dangerous Goods Rule 2003. It tells that if you are involved yourself in the process or in any manner of the dangerous goods handling, you have to do the DGR training. And DGR training is not is a vast subject. A lot of people are afraid with the word of dangerous goods. Dangerous, a lot of people are afraid. But I will tell you, it's a very interesting subject. When you enter it, you will love it. Dangerous good training is divided into different categories according to your job requirement. It is start from 8 hours, it goes up to the 40 hours. If you are working just a passenger handling staff, you just basic idea what are the goods accepted in a passenger's baggage, what is the quantity, whether he can carry it, where he can carry it, and how he can carry it. If you are a pilot, you have to know about it, the where the goods are loaded in the case of emergency, what procedure has to be followed. If you are ramp staff, if you are a cargo loading staff, you have to know how to segregate the goods. If you are the cargo agents, you have to, the cargo agent is or the shipper is a basic responsible person. Shipper is a key person. He has to know how to pack the goods, how to load the goods, and this is a course for the 6 days, 48 hours. They have to know all the rules and regulations about the cargo, about the dangerous good regulations. And similarly, the category 6 staff, the airline staff who accepting the goods, who load the goods, who plan the goods, and which section, which cargo has to be loaded, they have to do the 6 days training. And what are the qualifications required? Nothing more. You have to basic knowledge of English, you have to 10+2 qualification or higher, and you are working in the aviation industry. My dear friend, this course is very important, and all the persons who has involved in any manner, I say in any manner, if you are just giving the information to your customer, in anything, you have to do the DGR training. It's very important to all of you. And if you are working in aviation industry, please do this course. And according to your job requirement, you have to just call or you just send your queries to us. Thank you for that. And over to Vinita, please.
Thank you, Aravind. That was quite an informative, because mostly people might not be knowing about dangerous goods regulations. So that was an interesting topic to get covered. So now it's a question answer round. There is a question to you, Arvind. I think you have spoken about the copra. So somebody has this question that if bill of that dry fruits was present, then the customs will stop the shipment.
No, that is a custom regulation. There are so many goods that in a custom regulation. So we are not interfere with the custom regulation. If you're talking about the copra, why the copra is a dangerous? You know, the copra is it classified in the division 4.2 and it is highly combustible. It containing more than 70% of percent of the oil, and this oil is highly flammable. It can catch the fire very easily. A lot of people are confused with the copra and a coconut. Coconut containing a water and copra contain it is a dry. So dry coconut is a more dangerous, and it is a forbidden even in a cargo, even in a passenger's baggage also.
So coconut is not allowed
in a cargo also. For cargo, you have to take a lot of permissions from the various agencies. Only then you can transport it.
I think only in the commercial shipment you can send.
Yeah, you have to take a permission from the higher authorities, from the regulatory authorities.
Actually,
only
I am
then
working,
you can transport.
Actually, I want to know about IATA cargo.
Okay.
Ma'am, should I speak? It's the right time to speak.
Yeah, yes. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I am working with the DHL courier with since the last 10 years, and my father had a business of the courier, and now I'm looking to the IATA courses. So I just want to know that what kind of courses, what kind of best thing for me.
Radhika, you will be able to answer that.
Hello, Siddhant.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're working with DHL.
Yeah, I'm working with the DHL courier. So I know about all the packaging and all the system, that volumetric weight. I have this little bit knowledge about that. Okay. Because my father is doing with the DHL courier.
Okay. So you want to get a certification for that?
Yeah, I want to get a certification.
Yes. Basic cargo introductory is the best course. Since you have knowledge, you have gained the knowledge past from last 10 years. So you can get your basic certification from IATA by doing your IATA cargo introductory course.
Okay, so if I want to get a job in the custom or in a cargo, so what are the procedure for that?
For cargo.
Yeah,
you're already working with a DHL. Yes.
Yeah, I am working with a DHL company. But I want to know that if I want to get the job in the cargo industry, if I want to get the job in the cargo, so what are the procedures for? It means I have to do certification of dangerous goods also.
You have to do, yes, you have to do clear your DG certifications also.
Okay.
Thank you, Radhika. Now my question is to Craig. So probably he has covered almost all the answers, but then one question which we always face from the students or they have is, what is the prospectus or what is the job requirement in the future? Because aviation is the worst hit. People are saying aviation is the worst hit in the current scenario. So what is that which is in stock for our students in future?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I knew someone would ask. Look, I think the reality is that at the moment it's going to be more difficult to get a job than maybe it was a year ago. I think that's just the reality of the situation. But I think if we look ahead to where particularly markets like India and China are going to be, probably, and China is a good example. So their domestic market is back to where it was 9 months after this business started. I think a lot of markets are going to be in that situation, and there'll be opportunities. There'll be opportunities for two reasons. One, if you've done your course, you'll be ready to be employed. And secondly, a lot of people will have left the industry. So we know that airlines, airports, probably ground handling companies are laying people off at the moment. Not all those people. So once the industry recovers, and as I say, it could be as short as 6 or 9 months. Not all of those people are going to come back to the industry. So there's going to be some opportunities as well. If we look longer term, and this is my opinion, this is not necessarily art, but if we look longer term, and by 5 years or so, we will look back at this time. I think we'll have a very buoyant industry. I think we'll be fine. And we'll look back at this as probably the worst period that the aviation industry ever went through. So as I say, the world is connected. There's so many airlines and there's so many people that want to travel that have to travel. The industry is definitely going to recover. We just have to give ourselves a little bit of time and look at where the opportunities might be. So for sure, they're going to be there. They might be a little bit later or take a little bit longer than we thought.
Okay, thank you, Craig. We have a question from Charu Mathur. Is there an instructor course also? Yes, Charu, there is an instructor course. You can do a 3-day or a 5-day instructor course. This is offered through IATA regional training partners. So you can connect to us for this course, or you can we can guide you further, and you can check it on the IATA training website as well for this particular course.
Will it be hello?
Hello,
Vinita,
yes.
this is Charu.
Yeah, Charu.
I just wanted to check, will it be an online course right in this situation, or I have to come to some center and get the course done for 3 days or 5 days?
Right now, these courses are offered virtually. It's
Okay.
through online. Right now, it is all online courses. All the courses, let me share with all of you. All the courses right now, Bird Academy is offering, except the DGR trainings, it's all through online. So you can connect to us from your home, and you can do the session.
On which website you were saying that I can get the course details?
You can check it on IATA training.
Okay.
.org. So that there you will get the details related to the course, where the next training is planned.
Okay.
So you can connect from there, and we will connect with you when once we are operational. When we have a classroom training, we can also connect with you when we are planning it in India.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Any more questions? Anybody? We are beyond the time. We are like 8 minutes past 12. I hope that was quite an interactive session, and all of you were able to grab much related to the IATA courses.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Sahil, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
basically, ma'am, I'm an MBA student from UPS. So, ma'am, I just want to ask, like, I want to do some courses regarding RAM services. So, ma'am, is it a good time to do, or I should wait for now?
Sahil, there is no good time or bad time for studies. You can pursue your studies anytime, because this is the best time available where you can commit yourself for enhancing your knowledge about the subjects. So you can register yourself, you complete your courses, you can have your complete concentration on your course training, complete it, and once the industry opens up, it's all your floor to perform.
What do you think the what will be the future in aviation, ma'am, after some time?
Can you repeat?
No, I'm asking that after some time, like after 1 year, what can be the future within sea aviation, ma'am?
I believe we had this question answered by Astrid, Mr. Craig Astrid, short time back, long bit time back. We have see right now, if you can see that the domestic travel has already started. So gradually, it's internationally, it will be opening up it's not only like probably in India right now, it's a lockdown situation is there with the limited services, but across the globe, there are so many countries where the operations are still on.
Yes, ma'am.
So with
Yes,
an
ma'am.
IATA certification, you have an opportunity to try a global market also. You can try for a job abroad as well.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, yes.
Ma'am, my name is Twinkle.
Yes,
Uh,
Twinkle.
I pursue my graduation in BBA Tourism and Travel Management.
Hmm.
So, is there is something for us in aviation?
BBA in travel management, you can take up any course related to travel and tourism. You can do IATA Foundation program, and you can do any course related to the travel industry. Or and there are various courses related to aviation also available. Twinkle, you can write to us at vgr at bird.in. I have mentioned the email ID on the chat box as well. So you can connect to us on that, and we can guide you further which course you can go for. Because it will depend upon your interest. You want to work with a travel company, or you are interested in going for an airport or airline based job.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome, Twinkle. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you so much to everybody, Mr. Craig, for taking up the precious time, and all my trainers who have donated for the session today. Over to Minakshi ma'am to present the thank you note.
I think it was quite a bit of information put in all a small capsule, but I hope you all gained from it. And on behalf of Bird Academy, I would like to extend a big thanks to each and every one of you who joined the webinar today, and you enriched the whole experience of this sharing. Our very special thanks to Craig for his guiding us, not to forget his IATA team members, especially Lokesh Mata, who's a constant big support for us. Friends, we all go through the phases of educating and learning, and then we find ways of using these learnings meaningfully towards earning or giving services to others. But the most important thing is that we enjoy what we do. And for that, we just have to remember that when we are passionate, goal oriented, and knowledgeable, we become unstoppable. So, after seeing the opportunities awaiting you in this exciting world of travel, tourism, and aviation, what are you waiting for? I have worked for 30 years with Air India. I retired as a regional director there. And I can tell you, I still remember it with such passion, and I would love to rush back, but for my age. So I now tell you to rush to your IATA courses, choose your IATA courses, and Bird Academy is waiting to receive you. Thank you all so much for being so patient and so supportive. Thank you. Over to Vinita.
So, travel aviation industry and travel aviation hospitality retail. Now, these all are the industry which are interconnected. So you can take up if you are planning to start your career in any or in into the tourism industry or to the aviation industry. These are the scopes which are available to you. So you can connect to us anytime. You can connect to us through any of the social media, or you can connect to us through the contact numbers. So we'll wait to connect to you shortly for joining the courses. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, and have a nice evening. Stay a nice evening because it's already afternoon. So have a safe stay at home and take care. Thank you. Bye from everybody at Bird Academy. We look forward to you connect to you for the next webinar shortly.